Imagine stepping into the ring knowing that one punch could change your life forever. That's exactly where Jake Paul might be heading. Rumors are swirling across boxing podcasts, social media, and news outlets that Jake Paul could face one of the most dangerous opponents of his career, Anthony Joshua. And according to insiders, this isn't just hype or a flashy publicity stunt. The stakes could be career-ending, even life-altering. But why is everyone talking about this fight? And why does it feel like the boxing world is collectively holding its breath? Joe Rogan didn't mince words. He warned that Jake is stepping into extremely dangerous territory just by considering this fight. Joshua isn't a YouTuber testing the waters. He's an Olympic gold medalist, a former heavyweight champion, and one of the hardest hitters of this generation. Rogan stressed that Joshua would likely see Jake not as a rival, but as someone to make an example of. One punch, and Jake could be flat on his back, the kind of knockout that sticks in people's minds forever. Rogan's point wasn't just about skill, it was about history. Francis Ngannou, another top-tier heavyweight, had never been visibly hurt before Joshua put him down cold. If Jake Paul gets in that ring, he's facing the same kind of threat. And this isn't about debate or speculation, it's a stark warning from people who know boxing inside out. The danger doesn't stop at skill or experience. Wade Plemons, host of the Wade Concept podcast, broke down the numbers. Jake walks around at about 90 kilograms, while Joshua fights at roughly 111 kilograms. That's a massive difference in size, strength, and natural power. Joshua is not just big. He's a one-punch knockout artist, the kind of fighter who can end a night instantly. Analysts are clear, this isn't a mismatch. It's a potential catastrophe for Jake, a gamble with massive upside if he somehow lands a lucky shot, but enormous downside if Joshua connects. And yet, Jake seems willing to take that risk. Why? Partly for money, partly for spectacle, and partly because in his mind, he's chasing the biggest fight he can imagine. But it's not just the physical danger. The business side of this fight is chaotic, with conflicting reports creating more questions than answers. Anthony Joshua has an exclusive deal with DAZN, while rumors suggest Netflix may host the fight. Mike Coppinger reported that the deal is finalizing, but Eddie Hearn, Joshua's longtime promoter, calls that premature. So which is it? Is this fight actually happening, or are we seeing the same kind of media frenzy that builds hype months before a real announcement? Ariel Helwani, a veteran boxing journalist, believes that the very fact everyone is talking about it suggests something is brewing behind the scenes. In other words, when insiders start leaking details this early, it often hints at a real event, maybe as soon as December. Industry reactions have been brutal. Leon Edwards, UFC welterweight champion, weighed in on the rumors, saying if Joshua doesn't knock Jake out in 1 or 2 rounds, the fight must be fixed or something. That's not just a humorous jab, it underscores the vast gulf in experience, power, and skill between these two fighters. Other analysts and commentators echo the same sentiment. The fight is seen as dangerous, unnecessary, and almost surreal. And when you compare Joshua to someone like Francis Ngannou, the gap becomes even more terrifying. Ngannou is a monster in his own right, yet Joshua made him look vulnerable. Jake Paul is now eyeing someone who has already beaten an elite-level power puncher, and that gamble has everyone on edge. Jake's original target wasn't Joshua at all. He reportedly aimed to face Ngannou first, but Ngannou publicly declined, calling the idea disrespectful. That left Jake scrambling for the next big event, and Anthony Joshua appeared as the ultimate challenge, a man who not only has history, medals, and belts, but who also carries knockout power, ring IQ, and decades of training experience. Choosing Joshua over Ngannou may seem audacious to fans, but many experts call it reckless. Jake is stepping directly into the lion's den, chasing fame and money with very little margin for error. And as analysts point out, there's nothing Jake can do to fully prepare for a man of Joshua's caliber in a few months. Critics have been relentless. Simon Jordan, UK boxing commentator, called the fight stupid and ridiculous. Jordan acknowledges the massive money involved, but insists this isn't about competition, it's about spectacle. Tony Bellew, former WBC cruiserweight champion, went further, stating he would not believe this fight until they step in the ring together. Both stressed that size, experience, and power disparities make Jake vulnerable. Analysts have suggested the only responsible approach would be to either delay the fight until Jake gains more experience or implement strict safety measures to limit the risk. Yet even then, Joshua's sheer skill and power make the matchup daunting. And then there's the question of Anthony Joshua himself. After his recent loss to Daniel Dubois, Some observers question why he would even consider a fight against Jake Paul. Is it desperation? A semi-retirement move? Or just a calculated payday? Opinions are divided. Some see this as Joshua cashing in on a viral spectacle, leveraging his fame to create enormous revenue without risking much. Others worry it could tarnish his legacy. After all, he's a two-time heavyweight champion who's fought top contenders. Taking a fight against a YouTube star could be seen as undermining all that effort. Yet the counterargument is that Joshua is still active, still capable, and in the business of entertainment, money and spectacle are valid motivations in modern boxing. If the fight does proceed, insiders suggest special rules may be necessary. Heavier gloves, shorter rounds, even headgear, or a weight handicap for Joshua have been floated as ways to reduce risk. Boxing logic dictates that a 20-kilogram difference in favor of a seasoned champion isn't just a small advantage, it's enormous. Even with protective measures, the fight would remain unusually risky. Jake started boxing late, meaning his ability to absorb punishment, control distance, and think tactically under fire is still developing. Analysts warn that without proper rules, Jake could be in real trouble. The risk Jake is taking is staggering. Going from exhibitions with fighters like Gervonta Davis to potentially facing Anthony Joshua is a leap of a lifetime. Not only is he stepping into the ring with one of the most accomplished heavyweights in modern history, but he's doing so with fewer tools and far less experience. Some insiders argue that this might even be Jake's last shot at a big-name fight. One wrong move in his career, and possibly his health, could be on the line. And yet, the money and fame are undeniable. Netflix is reportedly involved, bringing a global audience and enormous potential revenue. Even Eddie Hearn seemed initially interested, though the deal reportedly shifted. Jake's following, combined with Joshua's prestige, could create one of the most watched boxing spectacles of the year. Critics, however, caution that this is all surface-level glamour. Beneath the glitz is a real, dangerous mismatch, and the boxing world is divided over whether it's entertainment or recklessness. Behind the scenes, experts debate terms. 3-minute rounds, 6 rounds versus 12, weight conditions, and official sanctioning bodies all factor into how this fight could be managed. But even with careful planning, Joshua is 6'6", Olympic gold medalist, and an elite heavyweight. In practical terms, no adjustment can fully level the playing field. Analysts suggest that the only way to protect Jake would be to give him extraordinary handicaps. Yet even then, surviving Joshua's punches in real time would remain a Herculean challenge. So why is Jake taking this risk? The truth may be a mix of ambition, delusion, and the allure of one massive payday. He's chasing a viral moment, a chance to cement his name in headlines, and perhaps a shot at glory in a world he hasn't fully earned yet. But every insider, every former fighter, every analyst is asking the same question. Does he understand the danger he's stepping into? Meanwhile, Joshua's motivations are equally complex. He could easily dismiss this as beneath him, yet there's undeniable financial incentive and promotional appeal. Some see this as him capitalizing on modern entertainment boxing, taking advantage of a media spectacle without putting his legacy significantly at risk. Others worry that choosing a fight like this during a critical phase of his career could send the wrong message, that he values spectacle over competitive integrity. The story of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua isn't just about two fighters in a ring. It's about the intersection of sport, entertainment, risk, and legacy. It's about the gamble one man is taking with his career and health, and the opportunity another sees to dominate headlines while risking very little. And while fans argue over who would win, insiders warn that the real story may be far darker. A cautionary tale about ambition, money, and misjudged challenges in one of the most dangerous sports on the planet. So here's the question that remains. Will Jake Paul step into this fight fully aware of what he's facing? Or is he walking into a trap that could redefine his career, and maybe even his life? One thing is certain, the boxing world has never seen a matchup like this, and whether it happens or not, it's already sparked controversy, debate, and a level of fear rarely seen in modern boxing. This isn't just a fight. It's a spectacle, a gamble, and perhaps one of the most shocking potential matchups of the decade. And as the rumors continue to swirl, everyone is waiting, watching, and wondering, is this genius, madness, or something in between?